Okay, my name is Mary Beth George, and I'm 44 years old. Okay, I think I want to be baptized because I was a year and a half ago when I, really understood and came to know Christ, and believe that He was, raised from the dead, I think. And I was sitting in church a few weeks ago, and y'all said we were going to have baptism, and God just really spoke to my heart and said, like it just pulled on me, like you should be baptized, you should be baptized. And I want the world to know, like I'm so excited about my life with Christ now. And so I knew in my heart in that moment that I was meant to get baptized, and it just happened to fall on my dad's birthday. So I think that most of my life I was raised in the church. I had full access to church, my parents took me all the time, and I always believed that Jesus died for my sins. So when I went to Savannah Mission Bible Training Center after I was in 4 years of addiction, I went in thinking I knew Jesus. Like, oh, I know Jesus died for my sins, is what I would say. But then I realized that I did not believe that Jesus rose from the dead. I doubted it. I had spent my whole life thinking, well, that part of the story is not true. That wasn't true. They faked it, or something. And so in that moment, I remember this moment where I just surrendered. I realized that, God, I believe that you rose from the dead. I believe the entire story is true. And then it's weird because, like, when Pastor Ryan prays and he says, let our hearts be open and your word find its place, it was like the word began to find its place. I had seen everyone for years and wondered, what do they have that I don't? I'm in the same church. I'm in the same, pew. And they were experiencing something I wasn't. And so it was like God softened my heart, and the word just found its place. It's like 2 Corinthians, 10:4, like the wages of our warfare is not carnal, it's spiritual, but I mean, like by the mighty hand of God, with taking down of strongholds. And when I opened this book about strongholds, and I saw unbelief, and I just realized that there was this whole spiritual matter to take it down. There was nothing I could do. The book didn't say, you have to do something, or nothing. Nobody was giving me any physical thing that I could do. There was no, better choice I could make. I had to pray. I had to ask God. I had to let him in. The wall had to come down, and then he would change me. And that's what I realized. But then I had all of the stronghold, bitterness, jealousy, envy, addiction. I had them all, and so it was just a process. But the one of unbelief was just repenting of unbelief. So, yeah. When I went to rehab and I was praying and God was speaking to me and changing me, and it was beautiful, I was praying for faith, I was praying for God to send people to encourage her while I was there, and for give strength to my parents while they took care of her. But one thing I love, my parents took me to church my whole life, and I know that I'm here today, and saved and walking with Christ because my mother prayed for me. She never stopped praying for me. And my daughter was everything to me, like everything. And I know that is the reason that I'm sitting here, is because of faith and because of my mom and dad and my mother's prayers, And as a mother, I know God heard my prayers just like he heard my mom's prayers. But one of the things that I was thinking on the way here is that even this church is a part of my story, because they were loving my parents and encouraging my parents while I was, not only on drugs, but in, getting better and in rehab, and faith too. People had prayed with faith and encouraged faith. And while I was praying for that, and when I was living in my mess, these people here were encouraging my family, loving my family, And so I think that, if I could thank anyone, it would be all the people that encouraged my mom and my daughter, because that was something I was praying for. And my mom and dad for never giving up on me. The love they have for me is like, it knows no end. Like, it just is amazing. They're such good representations of what, Christ is like. Just I am the prodigal son. and they came running out to me. And I just thank God, like every day I wake up thankful. I tell God, thank you every morning for my feet hit the ground, every afternoon, every night. Like, you know, even when things are rough, I want to count it all joy. What is there for me in this, God? What is there for me in this? Thank you for this. I have wasted so many years in unbelief, and I am excited to serve my God for the rest of my life. And I am just grateful. I am just grateful. I want all of those years back to serve my God. And so